Hey everyone, John here, and welcome back to the Toy Box. So if you watched my last video, then you saw that I reviewed the Kuttari Cutie Croagunk. And if you remember, at the end of the video, I told you to be careful when starting to collect these Kuttari Cuties, because they are going to be addictive and you're going to want all of them. And it can turn into a slippery slope. Well, this is my last Kuttari Cutie order from Pokemon Center. And this is an example of a slippery slope. So let me go ahead and show you guys. There we go. We have one Kuttari Cutie, two Kuttari Cuties, three, four, five, six, seven, and 8. So that's all the Kuttari Cuties right here. It's the whole Eevee Evolutions set. Look at how many there are. Look at that. There's so many. But anyways, I wanted the whole Eevee Evolutions set, so I went ahead and got them all. And I'm going to go ahead and look at them right here with you guys. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the review. Okay guys, it's Kuttari Cutie Eevee Evolution time, so let's get started. So first, we're going to go ahead and look at Vaporeon. So this is the sleeping version of Vaporeon. I would have gotten the awake version, but it wasn't in stock at PokemonCenter.com anymore, so I got the sleeping version. So let's take a look. So first we have the head. You have the eyes is sleeping, and we have the fins up here. Head is stuffed, so it's pretty soft. Looks pretty nice. I like the detail on here, how the fins are sewn on. You have the details right here. You can see the threads right there. It's pretty nice. We have the collar, the fin collar, his neck fin. This one right here had a little dust on it, and it's a little rough around the edges over here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's still pretty nice. And I like the blue threads, the details right here. Body, it's a beanbag. Remember, the Kuttaris are stuffed in the head and a beanbag for the body. Short limbs, they look pretty nice. We have the fin down the back, and the little tail. Little tail's really nice. Croagunk didn't have a tail, so I couldn't really show this. But this is stuffed also, so that's pretty cool. And then here's Vaporeon, how Vaporeon's tag looks like. Sleeping Vaporeon, Plush, Kuttari Cutie. And that is Vaporeon. So next, we have Jolteon, the electric Eevee Evolution. So if we look here, so this one's the awake version, so we can see the eyes. I like the expression. Jolteon looks extremely happy, and that's pretty cool. Ears are not stuffed, so they're pretty flat, so I guess they wouldn't be stuffed anyway. And we have the collar. I think the cut around the edges is a little rough. It's rougher than with the plushes, but I still like it. But you see this one and this Jolteon is a little rougher. So if you look at the top also, you can see it's a bit rough. The body, still it's beans, and we have the paw pads on the bottom. I don't think Vaporeon had paw pads, did he? No, Vaporeon did not have paw pads. No, Jolteon does. And then we have the back spikes. So it's not a stuffed tail. We just have the back spikes right there. And there is Jolteon's tag, Kuttari Cutie, Jolteon. So that's Jolteon. So now next we have the Flareon Kuttari Cutie. And this one looks pretty nice also. I like the color. The color looks a bit like a shimmer Flareon. So we have the details on the head. I do wish that Flareon was a little fluffy. One thing I like about Flareon is that he's very fluffy. When I take a look at this Flareon, like the plush, but Flareon is always really fluffy. I like the puffiness. His collar right here is really fluffy, but unfortunately the Kuttari Cutie doesn't really have that. But it's probably just the style also. But it's a pretty good color, and I like the detail. This one was stuffed really good, so it's a pretty fat Kuttari Cutie. And on the back, we have a little tail right here. So that's Flareon. There's his tag, Kuttari Cutie Flareon. And there he is. All I need to do is give him a headband. So next, going on to the second generation Eevee Evolutions. First we have Espeon. So Espeon looks pretty nice. I like the expression. I like the little red dot right here, the little jewel for the psychic Pokemon. The ears, these ears are not stuffed. And the body, filled with beans. Pretty good. Not as much as Flareon, but still pretty good. And in the back we have the forked tail here. So there's a forked tail. And here's Espeon's tag. Kuttari Cutie Espeon. So overall, this is a pretty nice one. There's Espeon. Next, it's another one that I couldn't find the awake version for, so I got the sleeping version. This is Umbreon. So this one looks pretty nice. It's very, I like the black they use here. It's kind of shiny. It's maybe a little harder to tell on camera, but this is a bit of a shimmer Umbreon. And I like the details on here. I thought that Umbreon's ears would have been stuffed, but these ones are not. And we have the yellow stripes. We have the circle right here, which looks really nice. And we don't have paw pads on the bottom, but they are stuffed. We have the circles on this side, so you can definitely see the details for those. And the beans stuffed pretty nicely. There he is from the side. And we have a stuffed tail, everybody. Stuffed tail. And we have the yellow stripe right here. And here is Umbreon's Kuttari Cutie tag. There we are. Sleeping Umbreon. And next, so we didn't have any for the third generation, but we have some for the fourth generation. So here's the first one. Here is Glaceon. So Glaceon has doesn't have stuffed ears, but does have really nice, shiny blue here on the ears. And we have the hair coming down, so the hair also has these details. And the eyes look very icy, so which makes sense. This is the ice type Eevee evolution. So I don't know if he looks happy or not. He looks like it's just saying, well, yeah, I'm here. Who cares? Anyways, the little limbs right here, they have the details for the feet. There we go. Little feet. Wiggle. And on Glaceon's back, we have these two diamonds, which look pretty cool. This one isn't stuffed very much with beans, but you can still hear the bean sound. So this one isn't stuffed very much. And we do not have a stuffed tail here, so this tail is flat. And here we go. This is Glaceon, Plush Kuttari Cutie. Now next we have Leafeon. And this one's interesting. This one has a lot of detail on him. If we look the leaf coming up here out of his head, it's shaped just like how in the game. We have the spikes here. They're stuffed. These are stuffed spikes. And of course, Leafeon's eyes look pretty nice. And if you look at the ears, back here you can see that there's the pattern here on the fabric itself. So this isn't painted on like some of the other plushes had. This is actually dyed onto the fabric right here. So this is pretty awesome. I like details like this. So this is pretty good on Leafeon's head. And of course on his chest you see the leaves coming out. It's a little rough right here, just like with Jolteon, but I don't think it's as prominent. And over here we have on each of his legs, Leafeon has the leaves sticking out. So on the back legs also. And there are the front legs again. This one's stuffed with beans pretty well. So it's this particular one is pretty stuffed, so that's awesome. And we have the tail at the end. So right here we have those same details. I told you I really like these a lot. These aren't painted on. These are part of the fabric. And this is Leafeon's tail. That looks pretty nice. So that's the Leafeon Kuttari Cutie. And lastly, for the 6th generation, we didn't have an Eevee Evolution in the 5th generation. So now 6th generation, we have Sylveon. And this is the fairy type Eevee Evolution. A lot of the Sylveon's details are painted on. If we look at the head, so once again, head is stuff. This one's a sleeping version. I couldn't find the awake version. But, we see here, the bow, the detail, the pink is painted on. And on the feelers, the blues and pink, here are painted on. So the ears aren't stuffed. And if we look right here, Sylveon is actually stuffed very well. It's almost like Flareon. And of course we have the feelers stretching out over his body, and we have this pink right here is painted on. And on the back we also have these feelers, the 3 feelers. They're all painted on as well. So have a little bit of mixed feelings about the painted on parts. I usually don't like them that much because I've gotten some plushes where the paint was just totally off and it completely messed up the plush. But that's one way you could tell the counterfeit ones from the authentic ones. But these are done pretty nicely. So I do like this this particular plush, the parts that are painted on. And of course Sylveon's tail is not that big, so it's just right there. And here we go. That is Kuttari Cutie Sleeping Sylveon. So there's all the Eevee Evolutions right here. So these are Kuttari Cuties, and they're supposed to be meant to be stacked up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start stacking them up here. Let's see how they work. So we have here, we'll put these guys here on the bottom. So there's Leafeon, Glaceon, Sylveon, and we'll go ahead and put Umbreon and Espeon next. And then on top of that, I'll put Vaporeon. There's Jolteon, and I'll put Flareon on top. There we go. So those are how they look. See, their heads are a little wider than the rest of their bodies, as you can see right here. So they're gonna curve a little bit up. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's easier to see on the side. Let me just turn them over. So now you can see how they are on the side. When you stack them, they'll be on the side like this. So they'll kind of curve upwards like that. So when you stack more on top, then they go up a little higher. So it's going to be a little slanted. But those are the Kuttari Cuties. Let's go ahead and turn them back around. There we go. Let's move them over. There we go. So go ahead and put Sylveon in the middle again. Glaceon, Leafeon, Umbreon, Espeon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and lastly, Flareon. So there they are. There's a pyramid of Eevee Evolution Kuttari Cuties. And those are pretty awesome. Alright, so this has been the review for the Eevee Evolution Kuttari Cuties. So we come now to the big question. Do you buy or do you not to buy? I'm just going to break it down like this. These are small, they're cute, they are stackable, and they go anywhere. So if you like any of those things, then I would say the Kuttari Cuties are for you. If you really care about how the details of the Pokemon look, they have to be the exact proportions. They have to be the exact size. Their details have to be perfect. And you don't like that the limbs are too small or the tail is too small, not stuffed, whatever. If you like those details like that, then I'll probably say the Poke Plushes are for you. But either way, these Kuttari Cuties are really awesome, and I really like them a lot, and I'm probably going to end up getting more. Even though I already talked about this being a slippery slope, I'm probably going to keep going down that slope, so keep here on this channel for more Kuttari Cuties. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Follow the Toy Box on social media, Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description below. As always, leave your comments in the comments section below. Rate, subscribe, and don't stop playing.